Hi, everybody. Ron Placone here. You're watching another summary from the Indie Bohemians morning show. And of course, we talked about the torture report today on the show. What we did not do, we did not go in extensive detail in the report itself. We're a morning show, and quite frankly, we didn't want to be talking about rectal feeding in detail and stuff like that. It's a pretty heavy report. There's a lot in there. I know the actual document is over 500 pages. I did not read that entire document. I don't think I really have the stomach for that. I read a lot of the summaries, just like I'd imagine most other people are doing. But we used the report instead to talk about torture as a whole and talk about the concept of torture. And I learned a very, very important lesson on torture from a classic movie from my youth, D2, The Mighty Ducks Are Back. Now, if you're not familiar with The Mighty Ducks, you messed up somewhere, okay? Go, I think it's on Netflix. Watch all of them. Well, watch the first two. I don't know about D3, but definitely watch the first one and D2. Yeah, come on. You gotta, especially if you're around my age, you gotta be, come on, Mighty Ducks. But anyway, it's about a youth hockey team. And in D2, the Mighty Ducks Are Back. They were so successful in the first one that they recruited Coach Gordon Bombay, Emilio Estevez, and they had him coach Team USA. And it's Team USA. See, there's a bit of America. So they're Team USA. And in the final game, they're playing Iceland. I think it was Iceland anyway, but I'm pretty sure it was Iceland. And Iceland's cross-checking and stuff, and Iceland's beating their asses, man. Iceland's really controlling the game. In the second period, they get a little angry. So they start going haywire. They start committing all these crazy penalties. They're doing all these checks. The one cowboy Texan hockey player, which I'd imagine isn't the most common thing in the world, but it happened in this movie. He lassoed a dude because the dude was going to cross-check one of the girls that he kind of had a thing for. So he was like, we don't treat ladies this way. And he lassoed the dude. And it's pandemonium. And the announcers is like, is this a hockey game or a circus? Oh, and everyone's jubilant and having a good time. And then later in the locker room, Gordon Bombay, the coach, walks in, the fearless leader, the voice of reason, and he says, did you guys have fun out there? And they all said, yeah, we had fun. We had a great time. And he goes, well, so did they, because they're still up by 3 goals. Whoa, mood changer, game shifter. But what was Gordon doing? Gordon Bombay was being a good leader. And then, of course, they had a discussion on it, and one of the players said, well, we might as well keep our pride. He said, this isn't about pride. What you guys did out there, that wasn't about pride. That was a circus. And he's like, well, you know, they're cross-checking us and this and that. And then Gordon Bombay said, look, if we play that game, if we play into their hand, if we stoop to their level, then we lost a lot more than a hockey game. Whoa. And that's my attitude towards torture. Why stoop? You know, the people that are apologists for torture, that say that it's justified, that are in support of what's going on right now, a lot of times people say, well, it's only used against the militant extremists, that there's no other reckoning, there's no other reasoning, there's no other choice, and this and that. Now, here's so why stoop to their level, first of all? And secondly, a lot of these militant extremists, first of all, there's a bit of naivety to assume that it's just limited to that. I mean, really, we don't know everything that goes on in the CIA on both ends of the spectrum, and there's probably a lot that we are not aware of. But secondly, a lot of these militant extremists, they're willing to die for their cause at the drop of a hat. So really, if you torture them, there's a good chance you're not going to get what you want. And you're also going to make more of them. That's how it works. You make more militant extremists. No, I'm not saying it's all X or all Y in every single situation ever known. I know that there's stuff out there. I know that there's situations out there. On the other hand, I know there's also a lot of hype, sensationalism, and hyperbole and misinformation from the mass media. And when we think about what was going on during the Bush administration, even up until current day, going after countries that were not an actual threat, going after the wrong people, searching for WMDs that aren't there, there's reason to say, you know what, maybe we need to have better tactics in regards to searching out information, in regards to seeking out things. And if it's, well, there's no reasoning, well, why stoop to their level? I think that's an important lesson to take away, because, yeah, there's certainly extremism out there. There's also misinformation out there. And when we have a media that doesn't care unless it bleeds or involves the Kardashians, that doesn't really help the situation. But when you look at the militarization of our police force and what has happened recently, and when you look at what the CIA is doing, there's reason to kind of say, you know what, This is not the type of nation we want to live in. We do not want to live in a shoot first, ask later, complete militarized zone of a nation. At least I certainly do not want to. And I think that a civilized nation, any civilized nation, and the United States could and should do a little bit better. So you've been watching a summary from the Indie Bohemians Morning Show. This is Ron Placone signing out.